The number is 1-800-344-ROCK, R-O-C-K 7625, to talk with Phish and Big Head Todd and the Monsters on Rockline on the Wizard of Rock 106 WIZN.
Live via satellite from the entertainment capital of the world and our Rockline studios in Burlington, Vermont, AT&T presents North America's #1 interactive rock radio program, Rockline. Tonight, Rockline gives you the opportunity to interview the members of Phish and Big Head Todd and the Monsters. If you've got a question for either band, call toll-free at 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. Now, Rockline's resident Big Phish head, Ricky Rackman.
God. Hey, this is Ricky Rackman, and thank you for joining us tonight on Rockline. Tonight, we're going to hang out with Big Head Todd and the Monsters, who are going to be playing live for us. And right now in Vermont, we're hanging out with Phish. And Phish was started in 1983 around the University of Vermont. And even though they put out 7 CDs and never really had a hit single per se, they played the largest concert event of the last year when they headlined a 2-day event at an Air Force base in upstate New York. 135,000 total tickets were sold, and they've been one of the top grossing touring units for several years. In Vermont, we've got the guys Phish, Trey, and John are joining us. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
How you doing? Now, you've got your 7th CD, which is called Billy Breathes, and the first single is called Free. Out of all the CDs, albums that you've ever released, is this sort of the first time that Phish has ever put out like a single?
No, we put out singles in the past. They just never played them. I mean, yeah, it's been a single probably for every album.
Because this is the one thing that I don't understand about the whole Phish thing. Phish right now, like, you can't pick up a magazine. I just picked up Rolling Stone, and Phish is all over that, and you guys are all over the place, and you're still one of the biggest concerts ever, but you've never had, like, a hit song that's all over the radio.
No, that's pretty much not.
That's true. that is a correct assessment.
So you guys are...
I don't think it was really the focus, probably.
Right. But do you think
I guess if you look at it that way, it's probably not that surprising that most of our energy was spent thinking about playing live, and lo and behold, the live thing kind of took off, you know? Go ahead.
So the band started pretty much just always building a bigger and bigger and bigger live fan base till pretty soon you were playing festivals with 135,000 people to see you guys, to see Phish.
Well, yeah, but you know, I don't think bigger and bigger was the
that was really the
point.
goal.
I think better and better was probably the point.
Yeah, something I noticed when I was reading like all these interviews with Phish, that you sound like that you're getting bigger and bigger, whether you like it or not. Like, you're not really that stoked about the band's success.
Oh no, well, you know, plenty stoked.
Sorry. Okay, you guys are
not unstoked.
Oh, come on. You guys are in Vermont. Make fun of me being from Los Angeles. Give me a good Vermont word. Give me a good Vermont word.
It's like carving a good tube, you know, on a 7-foot day.
Okay. Give me a good... Okay, guys. Give me a good...
It's great, you know.
It's like rolling down Venice Beach.
I want Phish to teach me some Vermont slang now. Give me some good Vermont slang. I've never been to Vermont. I need some slang.
I don't know that we're qualified.
Well, I'll promise I'll throw in some more LA words for you guys to make fun of me. In the meantime...
No, we spent some time out in LA there, you know. We recorded Hoist in LA, so we consider ourselves LA
natives,
experts,
LA natives.
Well, we're going to play a song off Billy Breathes right now. We're going to play the song Free, which is the new single to be released off the Phish new Phish record. Is there anything you'd like to say about it?
I do. I want to say that, you know, this is God's honest truth. I when I was living in LA, I tried to start surfing, you know, because I'd met this guy out there who was a surfer, and I tried to surf at some of these places like you know, Trestles and all these, and they had these little gangs of 15-year-old kids out there. If you don't know how to surf like me and you try to surf, they'll beat you up. So I ended up having to surf at Venice Beach every day, alone out there with the garbage.
Well, when you paddle
I
out,
just want you to know that was my LA experience.
well, when you're from Vermont and you paddle out there with parkas, they kind of get the idea that maybe these guys aren't from.
No,
Venice
it's like
or
they
something
pack knives
Come
and
on,
stuff
knife
out of
you
the,
while you're-
in
They're
the
tough.
surf.
Well, we're going to play the song Free. This is Phish on Rockline. On Rockline, Phish is joining us there in Vermont. We've got Trey and John, and I am Ricky Rackman in Los Angeles, being the victim of ridicule from the guys in Phish. Have you guys figured out any Vermont slang you can teach me?
Sectors to pump.
Okay, what does this mean?
If you have to ask.
You know, I've never been in Vermont, but I'll bet it's not a good thing. Big Head Todd and the Monsters have set up their gear right here in our Hollywood studios, and they're going to join us and play live in a little bit. But right now, Trey and John from Phish are waiting to take your calls toll free at 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625.
Hi, this is Trey from Phish, and this is Glow in the Dark Radio on 106 WIZN.
I smell fish.
Back with more of Rockline and the members of Phish.
Why don't you use some of BB's cologne?
I'd rather smell like fish.
Live from Burlington, Vermont.
And before we get to your calls, to say hi to Trey and John from the band Phish, we want to say hello to another brand new affiliate. I tell you, the Rockline audience, it's spreading like the plague. Greetings to everybody. Greetings to everyone tuned in KLFX, Central Texas, Best Rock, 107.3, The Fox in Killen, Temple, Texas area. And we hope to hear from you guys tonight. So start calling and also calling every Monday night on Interactive Radio Rockline. And like I said, we've got the guys from Phish here. And I've heard, because I've never seen Phish live, and everybody's like, oh, you've got to see this band live, especially New Year's Eve. I mean, Halloween. What is the thing that you guys do on Halloween? I hear every Halloween it's like, this is like the most important day for you guys to play.
Well, that's where we play somebody else's album, you know. So that's that's the one time of the year that you can see us play somebody else's music, and you don't have to listen to
That
ours.
goes right back to
And some of the artists that you've done before,
that you made before.
like what were some of the bands I heard you did? Like one year you did
We did the White Album. The first 2 years we did it, we let people vote. We would do whatever album, any album ever recorded by any artist. Doesn't have to be rock. They voted for the White Album, so we did that. And then we did Quadrophenia the next year, which also, and then this year we did one that we picked ourselves for the first time, and that was Remain in Light.
Talking Heads. Very
one
cool.
of my favorite.
Let's go to some calls. Mike from Tulsa, Oklahoma is listening to 97.5 KMOD. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Trey, John, I wanted to ask you guys, did you write most of Billy Breeze on the road, or did you end up doing most of it in the studio when you got in there?
I actually, it was kind of a combination between in the studio and I went on this scuba diving trip with my friend Tom, who does a lot of co-writing with me, just for a couple days right before we went into the studio, and we wrote 25 or so songs, but they were real rough, acoustic guitar and singing and bongos. Yeah, Tom actually had one bongo. It was bongo and acoustic guitar. So that would be Waste and Character Zero and what else was there? Like Swept Away.
So when you guys go on when you go on vacation, you go somewhere like scuba diving in the Cayman Islands, and you write a couple songs, and you can get the whole thing deducted and say, oh, it was just a business expense. We didn't really go for fun. We just wanted to say it was all for work, right?
Well, for one thing, that place is really bizarre. The Cayman Islands is, there's nothing there except it's sort of an offshore banking kind of deal there. But the other thing is it's so much safer than going to someplace like L.A. where you may get
knife in the back for paddling
Knife
out
in
on
the
your
back
board while surfing.
Stoked 15-year-old.
Okay. Hey, Rodney's in Rockford, Illinois, listening to us on the X 104.9. Say hello to Phish.
Hello, Phish.
Hello, Rodney.
Hello. My question for you is, I wonder if you've ever thought about turning Gamehenge, the story of Gamehenge, into a rock opera, maybe touring with it, because I know Mike's interested in doing movies.
Yeah, thought about it at different times.
Are you guys drawing? We're hearing all this stuff. Are you drawing? And we can hear you drawing. Yeah, put your crayons down. Answer the damn question.
We're doodling. But we're listening to your question, Rodney. We are.
No, that whole thing was done before we did our first album, and there was, I remember the conversation. We're like, well, it was kind of something that had been a lot of stuff that I had written. This is Trey talking, and we kind of wanted to focus on something a little bit more group oriented, I think. So we put it off, and every single album we've ever recorded that has come up, at least. Well, maybe we should kind of. And now it's been so long. It's been around so long. I don't know what would happen. There have been some people who've talked to us about making animated films, which is my favorite idea for that.
It seems that it just perpetually keeps getting put on the back burner. You never know. Nothing's really written off.
But with the records and with the tour, I mean, you guys are on the road, quite a bit, right?
Yeah. We've been playing in Europe a lot more, and that kind of takes time. And, it's always this decision about you want to play in the States as much as possible and in all the different areas of the country. Like you just mentioned, that new station in Texas, and I was thinking, we're going down to Texas this summer, But then when you start playing in Europe, it does kind of add a whole new, you've got to find time for everything. So that becomes a big discussion.
We're going to play another cut off the new record. This is Character Zero, which you were just talking about. You got a lot of the inspiration while you're in the Cayman Islands diving?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where it was written. A lot of the songs, they all ended up being about being underwater and stuff. So there's other tunes on the album that were about that. But this one, I don't know, isn't really about that.
This one's about being on land.
Yeah.
This is Character Zero from Phish on Rockline. And we're going to go to the calls. This is Mark in Hagerstown, Pennsylvania. Listen to 96.7 QCM. Hey, Mark, say hi to Phish.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing?
What's the most unusual thing that's ever happened while performing in concert?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. A couple things jump to mind. One, we did this is kind of sick, but we did a show in Houston, and a guy got shot. Do you remember that? It was in that little, we played in this, out in the parking lot. He got shot. It wasn't in the crowd.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna walk my dog, and the guy was saying.
That was that gig we were yelling at each other.
Yeah, we got in a fight on stage. The whole thing was really bizarre.
Weird night.
But I got something about the vibe there. But he was saying, "Don't walk your dog out there because it's a really dangerous neighborhood." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I had Marley, my dog, used to tour with us, and there was only about 4 people in the audience in this little club we were playing at. And we ended up getting this huge fight, like right on stage. I can't remember what it was about, but just stopped playing, dropped the instruments, screaming at each other.
You guys were screaming at each other on stage?
On stage, yeah.
Just
something, the groove was rushing. Something, stupid like that.
Antelope, it was something.
And we just stopped and started fighting. And then I went off stage, and there was this commotion, and I walked outside, and some guy got shot out in the air. So that was pretty weird.
Wow. Brandon is in Ashland, Kentucky.
Not to get real positive or anything.
Brandon is listening to us on the internet. Hey, Brandon, how do you hear the show on the internet?
What's that?
How do you hear the show on the internet?
I heard it from the internet. I'm on a phone.
Oh, okay.
Well, that'd be pretty cool. But how's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey.
Good. My show is for Trey, or my question is for Trey, and
okay.
It's about you mentioned at the Omaha show that the vibration of life was created or written by God.
Right.
And I was just wondering if I could have a little more insight about that.
I don't even remember where I heard about this or read about it or something, but, well, this is the thing. And, Sun Ra used to talk about this a lot, so Phish might even be able to jump in on this, being a Sun Ra
expert.
Anyway, everything in the universe is made up of vibrations, is the theory here, including light and sound, right? So sound would be a much lower on the frequency range of vibrations, and that as you go up the frequency range, you get into light. Some physicist somewhere is going to be saying, "Well, that's not true," but that's the basic concept, and that there's this certain frequency that ties together sort of the universal frequency of vibrations. People have done meditating tapes and things of that sort, and that's what that whole vibration of life is. That one way that you can get it is to is to have, if I play a tone, a sustained tone on my guitar that's low, and Mike plays a sustained tone on his bass, and then you slightly shift one of them either sharp or flat so they're out of tune with each other, the waves start beating against each other, and then you get the whole PA vibrating to this low cycling frequency, which, you know, in an arena can be really incredible feeling, just boom, 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 cycling like
I get that same. I get that same thing when I put tennis shoes in the dryer. It kind of gives me the exact.
That's the way I achieve it.
We're gonna come back with more Phish on Rockline.
WIZN, Virgins, Burlington, Plattsburgh.
I heard it on the radio.
Now, more of Rockline. Your weekly all-access pass to the biggest names in rock and roll.
Got all the top bands in here.
Hey, join us next Monday night for your chance to interview former Extreme guitarist and now solo artist Nuno. His solo debut is called Schizophonic, and he'll be here for the full 90 minutes to talk about it. That's Nuno, live from WAAF in Boston next Monday night, exclusively right here on Rockline. And we're going to take more of your calls in just a moment to talk to Trey and John from Phish. But right now, let's hear The Cavern from Phish. Phish is our guest on Rockline. We have Trey and John, and we're going to go right to the calls. This is Will in Roanoke, Virginia. Listen 96.3 ROV. Hey, Will.
What's up? I just wanted to know if, going into the first night of the Clifford Ball, did you plan to play Mike's Into Simple, Into Contact, Into Wickapall, or did it just happen in the heat of the moment?
Is this Big Phil?
Huh?
No, he was wondering if it was Big Phil. Have you ever seen this guy that stands in like the 10th row every night? He's really big.
He's about 8 foot something.
That's Big Phil. But that's a good question. I don't actually remember. Probably some rough planning, but by that point in the night, I can't say.
How much of the show is planned out? I mean,
basically, I don't know.
A lot of times I plan something out, and we can it when we go on stage.
Is that when those big fights start on stage during that time?
That has happened before. But at the Clifford Ball, that whole thing was pretty incredible and intense, and I can't remember really much of
anything that show. The last month. Mark is in Burlington, Vermont on 106 WIZN. Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up?
Good. You're in Burlington?
No, I'm in Middlebury, Vermont.
Oh, you're in Middlebury?
About a half hour down the road.
Okay.
Cool.
Great. So, thank you, Mark. Thank you for sharing. Did you want to ask a question?
We got some Vermonters. How you doing?
Good.
All right. What I'm asking is, I'm pretty stoked to be on, and I want to know why you guys named Billy Breeze Billy Breeze. Like, who is Billy?
Is this Big Phil?
Is this Big Phil?
This has got to be Big Phil.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a funny one. For one thing, Mike always wanted to be on the cover. Every album, he's been asking us if he can be on the cover, and we keep shutting him down, you know? So finally this time we're like, all right, you can be on the cover. And so he's the one breathing on the cover. But the song was written before that.
Hal in Providence, Rhode Island. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry,
but we were all on the edge of our seat waiting to hear why Billy breathed. And I'm sure it was a really great story. But
you know, that vibrational life thing, that's like kind of an equivalent.
Oh, I'm so plugged into that, let me tell you. Hey, Hal.
Yeah, being from California.
That's right, not Vermont. Hal.
Phish, Trey, good evening.
How you doing?
Good. I have a question for you.
This time we're going to answer it.
This time we might must do it.
Every time, you know, I'm at one of your shows, there's one of your roadies, and he's, how do I describe him? He's usually one of the last guys out on the stage. He's, how do I politely say, he's a little on the hefty side.
Oh, you must be talking about Brad.
Brad.
Yeah.
That
would be Brad.
Oh, no, you're talking about the guitar tech who carries the guitars out?
He's got kind of curly, long hair.
Yeah, he looks like the Lion King.
Yes. Every time he comes out on the stage, somebody always says, hey, that's Mike's brother, and
you know, and I always heard that a nickname from Mike was the Wolfman. So we kind of pieced things together that maybe the song Wolfman's Brother was written about this particular crew member. Is there any truth
The Lion
to that?
King?
I wish I could say that was true, but it isn't. But you know, it is. Now that you've got a picture of him in your mind, his name's Steve. But we for the last couple of years have been wanting him to dress up like in a purple royal gown and a crown and like a scepter. You know, because he's got that long hair.
Oh yeah.
He looks like. So he brings the guitar.
There was another time where we were going to have him sit in, pretend to be Mike, like right at the beginning of a tour. Yeah. You know, like it'll like come out and you know. But anyway.
Mike would be playing backstage. You know, people would think he'd put on
a
lot of weight.
Yeah, people think he would gain a lot of weight.
Hey,
you know, he'd
Fish,
be out there.
Fish guys, we got the guys from Big Head Todd and the Monsters. They just walked in here. You want to say hey to them?
How you guys
doing?
Hey.
Hey guys! And they're playing live for us in just a moment on Rockline.
It's another rock band.
And Fish, I want to thank you for hanging out with us a little bit tonight from Vermont. And good luck with the rest. When are you guys got some big shows planned coming up?
We're going to Europe next week.
How is is the Europe audience just as big as the LA audience? As the American audience? Right. As the American audience is?
Not quite as big, but
dirtier.
Dirtier. No, it's fun. I love playing over there. It's great. Meet a lot of funny people. I think Big Head Todd plays over there a lot, actually. So you could probably ask him.
Well, we will ask him. They're going to be here, and we're going to be taking your calls, and they're going to actually be playing live here in the studios in Hollywood. But we want to say thanks to Fish, and we're going to leave with the song "Taste."
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.